The Boys Season 3 is now 5 episodes deep, and slowly we are starting to learn more and more about one of the major characters, aka Soulja Boy. Not only is he a brilliant rapper, dance innovator, and games console inventor, but he's now one of the most dangerous supes in the entire show. Played by Jensen Ackles, this cat parody definitely feels like he could be America's ass, and throughout this video we're going to be breaking down his comic origins, the show differences, and what we think could be happening with him. Jensen is of course one of the co-leads of Supernatural, the legendary long-running show which ended in 2020, and he's reunited with that series creator Eric Kripke, who's also behind The Boys. Now Soulja Boy is notable in the comics for having multiple people under the mask, and a big moment in Herogasm. Whilst Homelander and the Seven are a parody of Superman and the Justice League, Soulja Boy and Payback are the Avengers corner of The Boys. This is why you see clear satire to Captain America, Scarlet Witch, and a lot more. The group he was originally part of was called the Avenging Squad, so yeah, no prizes for guessing who that's based on. Now the comics had a modern Soulja Boy in present day, but during issues 52 to 54, we learned the origin of the character and the first person to take up the mantle. Just like Captain America in the Marvel Universe, there have been many people that have taken up the shield, and we've had 3 versions in total, 2 of which that we meet in the comics. Now like Steve Rogers, Soulja Boy was attached to an army unit in the Second World War led by Greg Mallory, who in the show is changed up to Grace. The series did away with the multiple versions and shifted the timeline so that Grace encountered him in Nicaragua, where he was helping to smuggle narcotics into the US whilst also fighting alongside the locals. The show sort of combined all the versions of the characters, and in the comics, it was during the Second World War skirmish that the first one died. However, it should be noted that the version we meet in the show was also around during the Second World War too, and just like Stormfront, he didn't age due to the Compound V that was created at the time. Typically, it's injected into pregnant women or very, very young children. However, both Stormfront and Soulja Boy got it as adults, which is likely why they don't age like the rest of us. Raz, she had a big twist that Vought did not see coming.
Ha ha!
Soulja Boy stayed true to the red, white, and blue. Now, while Stormfront needed to change her identity in order to hide her immortality, Soulja Boy in the show, he just kept going. As Liberty, she was sent off after being exposed as a racist, but because Soulja Boy didn't carry out any crimes, that meant he never needed a rebrand and he just stayed the same. However, both are going to have awful opinions, and Ackles has said that Soulja Boy, unlike Steve Rogers, will have very of-the-time views on social progression. Now in the comics, we never really get a taste of this, but we still learn about his past and the history of the Shield. Now because the Supes are pretty much morons across the board, they were ill-equipped to be put into combat scenarios, but Vought still wanted the PR, so they shipped them out to the front line in the Second World War. Similar to the show, the group ended up signposting their location due to their arrogance and inexperience. In the comics, this happened during the Battle of the Bulge, and it caught the attention of a German patrol. The Battle of the Bulge is known as one of the great ambushes in recent memory, and this surprise attack by the Germans was their last major offensive in the Second World War. Most of the team of Supes were wiped out, including the Crimson Countess, who survives the skirmish in the show. Now Mallory in the source material was the sole survivor, and he found Soulja Boy at death's door. Blaming him for having his entire battalion wiped out, he tossed a grenade at him, killing him in the process. Now whilst Marvel's Captain America was frozen in ice to bring him into the modern era, Vought higher-ups used their considerable PR power to rewrite history and make Soulja Boy an immortal legend. In reality though, the mantle would be passed on to multiple Supes over the following decades. This included the second version, who was part of Crime Fighters Incorporated, a group that are basically just a rebrand of the previous team. This is only shown to us in a newspaper in the comics, and we never meet the character at any point in the run. Now we get a look at the current holder of the title when he first appears in the Boys spin-off Herogasm. It's a wild ride of debauchery that would make even Termite blush. Herogasm is basically an annual event held by Vought, where they say that the Supes have gone off-world to fight an intergalactic threat. What's really happened though is that they've just gone to an island to do a lot of drugs, have a lot of sex, and also hit that thumbs up button. Now the modern Soulja Boy is a coward and all around just a useless individual that is supposed to be the leader of Payback. However, he's very much just the face of it, and behind the scenes, Stormfront is the one who's really pulling the strings. Soulja Boy doesn't swear, he wets himself, and also names US states to keep calm in battle. This made many theorize that Ryan will end up becoming him, but whether that's the case, we don't know yet. Now the comic version would end up fighting Billy in The Boys, and this led to him having his nose bitten off. Later on, he was killed by Billy after Payback engaged them in issues 32 to 34. We'll talk about this more in just a bit, and in the comics he's desperate to join the Seven, which makes him ample pickings for Homelander. He's tricked into having sex with him as an initiation task, but he never becomes a member. Now, whilst the comic version is a hilarious take on what would probably happen with a real-life Captain America, the show has changed up quite a lot from the source material, and Eric Kripke and co have really made it their own. Eric mentioned Soulja Boy has been a big part of Vought for decades, and we saw this firsthand due to his statue in Season 2. In an interview on the Michael Rosenbaum podcast, Jensen gave some details on the character that I haven't really seen touched upon that much on YouTube. Now, whereas the Winter Soldier allusions to him being experimented on are pretty obvious, Ackles also said that he's very much a Weapon X, or rather Wolverine type character. This is seen in him waking up and pulling tubes out of his body, which is supposed to be reminiscent of the Weapon X issue 78 cover. His suit is undeniably inspired by the MCU Captain America, and it features the green, which is the same colours as the 40 era's Soulja Boy costume. Now, for the more modern one's demise, in the comics Payback was sent to take out Billy's team as a proxy for Homelander, but it failed spectacularly. Billy bit his nose off, blinded Stormfront who then fled, and the rest of the group were easy pickings without their true leader. Soulja Boy was then killed, but the show seems to be diverting from this. In the series he's referred to as codename BCL Red, or as I'm guessing it's called, Big Chest Laser. Now, this is highly radioactive, and it seems to be able to either completely kill a soup, or at least wipe out their powers. This is why Kimiko can no longer heal, but it seems to also be uncontrollable to Soulja Boy. He ends up killing several people in New York, though Vought do downplay this. I think that just in the same way Captain America came back after some time away, that they will try and spin it like he's been on ice, or preserved due to radiation. They set up a fake Chernobyl kind of cover story and could possibly use this as a way to try and bring him back into the fold. At the moment he's currently out to try and get payback on Payback, but I think that Vought might try and take him under their wing once Edgar is back. What the company really needs is someone who can rein Homelander in, as at the moment he's completely off the leash. I think Soulja Boy could be the person to do this, and it's going to be interesting to see why they got rid of him in the first place. Perhaps he was just becoming too powerful, and they wanted him off the board before he got any more dangerous, or perhaps the company made a deal with the Russians. This was during the Cold War, but Vought don't care about sides, they just care about money. I can see Edgar being someone who would still be up for selling weapons to them, and it's going to be interesting once it's revealed exactly what's really going on with the character. He actually seems like the kind of person that could beat Homelander, but whether he does remains to be seen. Anyway, that's our breakdown, and of course, love to hear your thoughts, and make sure you comment below and let me know. We are running a competition right now and giving away 3 copies of Everything Everywhere All at Once on the 15th of July, and all you have to do to be on the chance of winning is like the video, make sure you subscribe with notifications on, and drop a comment below with your thoughts on the character. We pick the comments at random at the end of the month, and the winners of the last one are on screen right now, so if that's you, then message me on Twitter at HeavySpoilers. If you want something else to watch, then make sure you check out our breakdown of Season 3 Episode 5, which will be linked on screen right now. We went over all the comic book callbacks, Easter eggs, and also gave our thoughts on the series, so definitely head over there right after this. With that out of the way, thanks for sitting through the video. I've been Paul, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, peace.